I literally asked the AI agent to move one button, and then it decided to install a few extra libraries. It added a dark mode switch, it changed all the fonts, it added a newsletter sign up, created a settings page I never asked for, moved files into new folders, drafted a pricing page, started an onboarding flow, and somehow replaced every icon with a tiny puppy GIF. And the button still didn't move. That's the part of vibe coding nobody shows. You ask for one change, you get a pile of changes you didn't ask for, and the original thing will often stay broken. Today, I'm trying to stop that pattern. I'm going to share with the no hallucination vibe coding workflow, my approach to agentic development that keeps the work simple, specific, and easy to verify. Okay, so I'm really excited about showing you guys this no hallucination vibe code workflow. And it's basically at least as close as I have gotten to making agentic AI development more reliable. I guess it's no secret if you've been following this channel that is one of my big struggles, and I guess a lot of you struggle with that as well. So let's get into it. So what I'll do in this video, I will have Cursor AI develop a simple app. I'll explain about the app in a minute, but I'll use some of the new features of both Cursor and also an external tool that I found. So the new feature of Cursor is the planning feature. So it means that instead of you having to write a very long prompt, you can write a simple prompt with just the purpose of your project or app or whatever, and then Cursor will craft a very sophisticated plan that you then have to approve before it begins development. So already here we are a big step in the right direction because we make sure that we avoid all the pitfalls. We have all the requirements and criteria from the beginning, so the AI knows when it's actually done creating the first version of your app. And then secondly, I'm gonna use this tool I found called TestSprite, which can essentially test all kinds of aspects in your app after it's done. So after the agent is done building your app, it can go and do test scenarios and really make sure that the AI has done its job. It's pretty amazing. I was kind of blown away when I first tried it. So I'll get to that later in the video. So stay tuned until the end, because I think that's a pretty amazing part of this workflow. But first of all, to the app. So I'm gonna just have Cursor AI develop a simple, I call it, or actually I talked to ChatGPT about this to get ideas for simple apps I could develop, but it's basically called like win of the day. So it's like a very tiny social network, you could say, without any user sign up necessary. You can just go to a website and just type what is your win of today, what did you achieve today that you're proud of, and then it will stick it to a wall on that page, and it'll be visible publicly for everyone for 24 hours, and then it'll disappear again. So just a very simple app where everyone can go and write their win of the day. So I again had some help from ChatGPT write a simple prompt for that. So I'll just paste in that prompt in the, and worth noticing is I won't choose agent. I will choose a plan in the Cursor UI. Then I paste in the prompt. So basically build a one-page win of the day wall in Next.js with SQLite, just to keep it as easy and simple as possible. Post auto expire in 24 hours. A like cheer button with perp IP throttling, mobile first, no external APIs. And then I'll just make it pretty, please. Okay. So yeah, we will use GPT-5 for this and put it at plan. So let's get this started. It'll likely ask some questions in the beginning, but then we'll just answer those and then it will go ahead and create the plan. Okay, so we got some questions. Okay, so first of all, styling approach for pretty UI. I like Tailwind CSS, so I'll just do like 1A, and then 2 cheer throttling per IP. I guess 1 cheer per post per 10 seconds. I guess it's fun that everyone can cheer a bit more as long as it's not spam. So every 10 seconds, I guess it's fine. So I'll also do 2A. Okay. And while we wait for the plan to be generated, if you guys could do me a huge favor, just go down to the comments under this video and let me know which country you're tuning in from. I'm very interested to know where in the world everyone is from. So so please which country are you from, just let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so we have the plan here, and as you see, it automatically opens up in like a markdown file that's styled and everything. So puts the tech stack data model with SQLite, so it creates a data structure in advance. Expiration strategy for the 24 hours. It already has like a technical plan for how to actually implement this. Also the rate limiting per IP, allow 1 tier per post per 10 seconds. API routes, UI UX with, I guess, Tailwind, and the project structure, so it even has the file server, which will help the AI, like the agentic AI, a lot when actually having to build this project. And there are some key implementation notes as well. So all these are good, and then it has 9 to-dos. So basically, step by step, what is the agent supposed to do? And you can even add new to-dos if you are not completely agree, if you don't completely agree with the plan and you want to add something in addition. But let's just go with the default, because the whole point of this video is to show that we can actually develop something without a lot of hallucination and something that actually works. So I'll just press build, and it's getting started. We accepted the plan, and yeah, it's planning its next moves. And this will likely take just 5 minutes, and I don't want you guys to wait 5 minutes to stare at that, so I will get back when it's done. So see you in a bit. Okay, so it seems to be done. As we can see, it has completed 9 to-dos, so everything on the list from the plan has been completed, and it has instructions for how to run it, and I already started it from the terminal. So now it's running on the local host, and let's go take a look and see how win of the day, like the first iteration directly from Cursor, looks. So this is what it looks like. Wins of the day, share a small victory. They disappear after 24 hours. So let me go and share a victory. And I just gotta think, because I gotta remember what I did today, because I feel like I've done a lot of different things. Okay, let me just check my watch. Yes, okay. So I walked 10,000 steps today because the weather here in Denmark has been extremely good lately, very sunny. So I took a walk in the autumn sun and saw some pretty nature, and also I'll put that as a win. So I'll put my name and walked 10,000 steps. Okay. So now this is the exciting part. Post your win. Will we get an error? Will it actually post? Let's see. Okay, so it seems to be working. So Anas walked 10,000 steps, and no cheer so far. That's natural, I guess. So let me just try to cheer on myself. So I'll press cheer. It's 1. So it correctly disabled. I wasn't able to cheer more than once. But it was actually supposed to reset after 10 seconds. So I guess that's a bug on this. Like I can try to refresh and see if... Okay, so I can refresh and cheer again. And let's see if I can just quickly... Yeah, okay, so that seems to be an issue. But that's good. We have a few issues, because then we have something for TestSprite to work on, or to hopefully detect later on. So we have a mostly functioning app, which is really impressive. So I think definitely the planning has helped, but of course there are some bugs, and in the past you would have to manually go and find all these bugs. But let's see if TestSprite can actually pick up on some of this. Okay, so let me just quickly show you the TestSprite website, and just to show you where you get it, and then after that I'll go back to Cursor, because it can actually be integrated directly within Cursor. So this is the website of TestSprite, testsprite.com, and you can sign up for free and test it out. And once you have an account, you can enter the dashboard where you have the full overview of all your tests. I've already been running a few tests just to prepare, but essentially what you would do if you also use Cursor is to press the test locally button, and then there's like a quick install button. You can create an API key. You can, with one click, add it to Cursor. And then what they say is like to then, after you've added it to Cursor, you can also add it to Cloud Code or other IDEs. But after you've added it to Cursor, you simply just tell the agent, like, help me test this project with TestSprite. So I'll just go ahead and copy that prompt. And then now let's go back to Cursor to then run this TestSprite. And since it's connected with API key, whatever we do in Cursor for test, we can always access this in the dashboard, like later the test reports and so on, they will all be in the dashboard. Okay, so back in Cursor, we have the agent on the left side still. I will paste in the prompt, help me to test this project with TestSprite. I already set up TestSprite, and in Cursor it has the API key and everything in settings. So I just go ahead and send this. Okay, and then now I actually have a browser window open. So I'll just quickly switch to the browser so you can see what's going on. Okay, so before TestSprite can get started, it's just asking a few questions just to make the tests as specific as possible. You can see this is like a completely local website that's running locally on like your computer. When you test it locally, you can of course also use TestSprite to test like an actual app running on a domain, but then you just do it from the TestSprite dashboard. So in this case, testing type, in this case, I think we'll just go ahead and test the front end. And because I guess if the front end works, in this case, it's so simple, then there's a good chance that the back end also works. So scope, we'll just keep it at code base. And for this, there is no login. So it doesn't need any login test account to test the app because it's just public. So, and it has the address correct. And what we can do here is we can add a product specification document. So if we have a document with requirements for what this app is supposed to do, it's I would say almost essential to provide that, because I mean, obviously the app TestSprite can probably figure out like kind of what functionality is supposed to work, but if you actually have a list of requirements, then it's a lot better because it actually knows what kind of tests to set up, and it's also actually required. So you do need to provide something. So in our case, the easiest is actually just to provide the plan that Cursor generated. I know you could probably optimize it, but just to show how quickly this can be done, I'm just going to drag in the markdown file for the plan and then see how it goes. So let me just find the plan file. So I'm just dragging in the plan.md file. Okay. So now we have the plan attached, and we just press continue. So it says upload success. The page will close automatically. So let's go back to Cursor and then follow the progress there. So back in Cursor, we just need to run a few scripts for it to continue. So if you look at the right-hand side, it actually created a folder called TestSprite tests, where it will put like the planning of the test that is going to run. Okay, so now it's actually running the plan, and let's see, and it even has a need login to false, so it knows it's not supposed to log into anything. And here it actually has a very sophisticated plan for everything it's going to do. Wins of the day is a web application, blah, blah, blah. The core goals, key features, user flow summary. So everything in this it's gonna like test based on these objectives. So let's try to go back to our app, the web app, and see what it's actually doing, because it might actually be running the tests already. So okay, so let me go back. Okay, so back in the app, we can see that the TestSprite has already been, while I switch windows, TestSprite has already been running a few tests. So we still see the original one I created that I walked 10,000 steps, but then it got creative and added its own wins. So completed a test for referential integrity, test posts, completed a 5K run today. I guess it got inspired by my 10,000 steps. Let's see, like I'll try to refresh and see if it's doing some more work as we speak. Okay, it's been doing a lot, I see. It's even like testing, okay, what if you write a really long, like how will the UI scale? So I guess here it actually found a bug because it doesn't look that nice if you just write a lot of dots. And wow, it's even been cheering on itself and I think on me too. And test post with nickname longer than 20 characters. Or so I guess this is like a longer nickname to see how that scales and how that's represented. Like a longer text with some lorem ipsum. And it's also cheering on itself, testing mobile viewport, testing referential. And remember, this, it has never seen this app before. It's the first time it's seeing this app, and then it created the test plan and it's just running this. I think it's pretty amazing. This is a test post to verify that the post can be created successfully with valid nickname and text length. Let's see if it's done or if it's still, oh, it's still ongoing. And just to show you how it looks within the TestSprite dashboard while this test is running, you can actually see that it automatically triggered this to also update on the TestSprite dashboard. So you can see it's like, it has all the tests listed, so you can actually keep an eye on all the tests it's currently running. So so you can see some of them have already passed, create post with valid nickname and text. These are all running, like all tests it's designed. It also passed maintain layout stability during cheering. I guess it passed validation error announcements and focus management. So all kinds of UI, UX tests as well, which is really amazing because it's something you might not immediately notice. And because there's so many, like you would have to manually test so many different use cases that you wouldn't normally think of. So this is just insanely practical. And so far we have like 5 out of 14 tests have passed. So let's see what happens. So current status now is that it's almost done. It's still running one of the tests, but a lot of them have passed. But there are actually now 4 that have failed. And let's take a look at some of these. So so one of them is reject post creation when text is empty or too long. And what's really cool is you can actually press on either of these, either passed or failed tests. Let's try to press the failed one, so this one, and it will open a video. So it basically screen records doing the test. So we can see what it actually means. So we press play here, and what you'll see it doing, so it puts a nickname, and then it will try to, yeah, I guess, do an empty first, which correctly shows this, and then it'll do like this long text, which we also saw it posting. And then the error down here says, okay, so the server rejects empty post submissions with proper validation error. So that's correct, but fails to reject posts exceeding 280 characters. Accessibility features for validation messages are missing. So please address these issues. So this is super valuable because, as you see, like it really messes up the UI when like one string without like spaces and stuff is posted in this way. Let's go back and then we can see maybe one of the past ones. So let's see what's interesting. So let's take a look at accessibility, validation error announcement. So if we see here, I guess, yeah, so it's trying to press without entering anything, and it sees correctly that it has the please fill out this field. Yeah, so that's how it looks when it's when it doesn't detect any errors. Okay, so let's go back and see. So it's basically done now. So it some of them failed, obviously, and let's go back to Cursor and see how Cursor handles like the test report and the results from TestSprite. So back in Cursor, we can see that it basically says test execution completed. The AI assistant will generate a report for you. So so now it's analyzing the results of the complete report. And And okay, so I generated the raw report, and I'm going to produce a finalized TestSprite markdown report grouped by requirement, then check off the remaining testing tasks. So let's see what it comes up with. So it has all the tests here, and we can take a look at these. This is basically the code it creates for all the different tests. And these are all like Python scripts, essentially. So it now says that it's done generating the raw TestSprite report, and it will now, like the agent will now write a concise, finalized markdown report. Okay, so we have the report here. So in this report, it suggests next steps. So basically now we see here that, okay, so it's completed. We have the final report, which we have here, and key failures to fix. So basically these are the errors that it noted. And what's really incredible now is that it actually asks like, okay, do you want me to implement these fixes and then rerun the tests? So all we have to do is actually just to say, okay, yes, cursor, please have the agent implement whatever TestSprite came up with, and please run the test again after you fix the errors. So this, like, in the past, I would have been sitting here like, seriously, why don't you understand me? I've told you 10,000 times that this button has to be in the right corner and not in the middle of the page or something like that. And it still doesn't understand it. Then it gave me like 10 new buttons in the meantime or something. So this is just a huge step forwards in terms of achieving agentic reliability. So I'll just write yes, and yeah, and then it will do that. I'm not gonna show that entire process because I guess you get the idea now. I'll let you know in the outro of this video if for some reason it didn't manage to fix all the errors. But yeah, so far my experience has been great with this, and since all of this is also based on the like LLMs, like the available LLMs, like these platforms, these tools will just get better when the LLMs get better. So GPT-6 launches Grok. You can also use Grok and Grok 5 and so on. Like it's, yeah, there's so many things you can tweak and try to see how you can optimize this flow even more. But I think already now, like we basically have a working app in no time. And by adding all these tests, we can actually reliably launch something. Of course, we still need some human checks. We need to just make sure that it's actually true, because I guess even something like this could still hallucinate, but it's way less than it has been. So it's way more, it's way more approachable to actually then do the final manual checks. So yeah, that's it for now. And I'll sit back and watch this implement the fixes and run the TestSprite tests again. So hopefully we have a fully functioning app where everything has been thought of and tested. And yeah, so that's it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for this, or how you, like, whatever you have been making with this mix of technologies. If this video inspired you, please like and subscribe. And have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.